Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Are you feeling charitable then? Smash the subscribe button and the like button, and please do follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Man. And welcome to Friday's edition of the dceu Daily. And today we are going to teach Rebecca Renner about Batman. Now, Becky, whatever she calls herself, right, is a contributing writer at National Geographic, sarcastic polyglot writing a book about other words, right? Basically, this is her picture. Look at that picture, right? These are the kind of people we are dealing with. She has got Batman and Superman kissing. Wow, nothing wrong with that. Nothing whatsoever. I'm just telling you, this is the kind of people we are dealing with, talking about stuff that we love that they know nothing about. Anyway, let's have a look at her hot take. Batman could have fixed all the crime in Gotham City just by using his wealth to create a universal basic income. But he just had to go around beating people up instead. That's billionaire logic for you. Is she being sarcastic? Of course she's not. She means this. Clearly, she doesn't like Batman because he's a man. Basically, she's a feminist. She doesn't say she's a feminist, but they're all feminists these days, aren't they? Even though real feminists sacrifice their lives to give women like her freedom. So really, she's a fake third-wave feminist. Anyway, right, should we start educating Rebecca here on Big Mouth on today's dceu Daily about Batman? Right, Batman could have fixed all the crime in Gotham City by using his wealth to create a universal basic income. Right. Have you ever heard of the Wayne Foundation, Becky? That gives a lot of money. Let's remember, this is fictional, but let's treat it like real life. So Bruce Wayne has the Wayne Foundation. He gives millions upon millions. He invests millions upon millions within the city to kind of not, you can't, it's very difficult to cure poverty with a few million. But he tries his best. He has a foundation to feed the poor, to feed the homeless, right? Now, let me ask you a question, Becky. Do you believe if he had a universal system where he's funneling money into each individual, that the Joker would never have become the Joker, or the Riddler would never become the Riddler, or Catwoman would never become Catwoman? Of course not. The Joker is insane. The Riddler is insane, right? They were always going to become what they were going to become. And then Becky talks about, but he just had to go around beating people up instead. That's not what Batman does. Batman is an intimidating threat in a city that is so full of crime and danger, women getting raped. Do you just want him to stand idly by and do nothing? But no, you want him using a universal basic income system because you believe women won't be raped and people won't be murdered. And this is what the alt-left do. They simplify something, right, in authoritarian ways. So Batman does invest in the city, but he also spends a lot of money on his gadgets, on his suits and everything else so he can be Batman. Because both elements are important. Batman doesn't just go around beating criminals up. He does beat criminals up. He beats them up when they've raped someone, killed someone, or mugged someone, right? That's how he keeps Gotham safe. And he still can't keep up with it all because he's one man. That's why he integrated the Bat family. So, Becky, I'm very, very sorry for you, and I hope you do get the help that you need. And clearly, you are another man-hater. But at the end of the day, just because Batman's a man, it doesn't take away from what a hero he is. Bruce Wayne, as a young boy, saw his parents murdered. They tried the system you're talking about. Thomas Wayne tried the universal credit system, right? It didn't work. He got murdered for what he was trying to do by one of the people he was trying to save. So clearly that system didn't work. And this is the problem, Becky, my love. When you're talking about something you know nothing about. Now, we all know that Batman and Gotham City are fictional. We all understand that. And I hope that Becky understands that as well. But these people with these political ideologies don't understand anything. All she sees is Batman, a character that's male. She doesn't like males. So she's going to try and turn him into something she wants. She wants to turn him into a toxic male. Now, she doesn't talk about toxic masculinity, but we know the undertones of what Becky is actually talking about. So no, Becky, what you are suggesting is wrong. That would not have stopped the Joker. That would not have stopped the Riddler. He invests money in the town, in the city, but he has to stop criminals as well. It's a two-pronged system. Don't tell me that Becky probably wants to defund the police as well. Look, I'm not surprised by these people, but it's just interesting when they do these hot takes and very intelligent fans like me and you sit them down and make them look absolutely stupid. We already know Matt Reeves' The Batman is having one original spin-off series over on HBO Max, but there's a new rumour as we have this coming in from Cinema Spot, which is not the greatest of sources, but let's give it a read. Exclusive Catwoman series in development at HBO Max. I have exclusively learned, of course you have, that another The Batman spin-off series is in development. Warner Brothers Television is currently working on a Catwoman show for HBO Max. Not much is currently known about this series because you don't know anything outside of the fact that it is set in the same universe as the upcoming The Batman movie. Zoe Kravitz is expected to reprise her role as Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. Yesterday, Hulu announced that their high-fidelity series would be prematurely ending after one season. While we currently do not know why the series was cancelled, it is likely Catwoman had a hand in this decision. Ultimately, I decided to wait until the fate of High Fidelity was determined first before running this scoop, which I knew about a month ago. In the case, this Catwoman show fell apart. Right, let me just tell you something. So High Fidelity, right, has been cancelled, right? So what this guy has done, High Fidelity's been cancelled. It must be because Zoe Kravitz is quitting and they don't know what to do with the show if she leaves, so she must be in a Catwoman original series. So he's adding 2 and 2 and getting 6. This isn't really a scoop. As deadly as she is beautiful, infamous cat burglar Selina Kyle uses her 9 lives to walk the razor's edge between light and darkness in Gotham City. Catwoman is one of the Dark Knight's most enduring enemies and belongs to the collective of adversaries that make up his rogues gallery. However, the character has also been depicted as an anti-heroine and become Batman's best-known love interest, with many stories depicting their complex love-hate. It is possible that the series will be a prequel exploring the character of Selina Kyle and her adventures that took place before she met Bruce and most other major characters in Gotham, or maybe it won't be a prequel. Let's not forget Gotham was a prequel series. I can't see Matt Reeves wanting 2 prequel series. I actually think these are set after the Batman, just my personal opinion. Yeah, I actually do believe this is happening, despite I don't think this guy actually has an exclusive. However, we heard rumours about how Selina might not actually become Catwoman in The Batman. Because of this, we believe that this Catwoman show could be a sequel to The Batman, you see, hedging his bets, following Selina's transformation into the iconic villain anti-hero known as Catwoman. The Catwoman show will be joining the HBO Max prequel series focused on the Gotham Police Department, written by A Wolf of Wall Street's Terrence Winter. Basically, right, this guy knows nothing. 1 minute he's saying it's going to be a prequel, then he's saying there's rumours she won't become Catwoman in The Batman. Look, I don't know about that, but it would be odd not to make her Catwoman in The Batman, but to make her kind of become for her to become Catwoman in this kind of spin-off series. It doesn't make sense, does it? I expect her to become Catwoman by the end of the film, just like I expect Batman to become more like the Batman we know and love. And, you know, everyone's complaining about Robert Pattinson's suit. It's kind of, this is just the beginning. He's making it up as he goes along. And then, ultimately, at the end of the movie, he will become the Batman we know and love. Zoe Kravitz is very interesting casting, considering she's Jason Momoa's, is it stepdaughter or adopted daughter or whatever she is. You know, it's typical Hollywood casting, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know. But Zoe Kravitz is a capable actor. I like the casting for Catwoman. She's going to be really good, and it's actually scary how identical she is to Halle Berry in appearance. And as we know, Halle did do a Batwoman movie. It wasn't a great Catwoman movie. They got it absolutely wrong, absolutely disastrous. But it's interesting that she does look like Halle Berry a great deal. But anyway, yes, I'll absolutely be up for a Catwoman spin-off series, as I am a Gotham PD, because this is all from Matt Reeves' universe, which is really, really exciting. So if this is true, this is something else we're going to hear about at DC Fandom. Many people telling us to lower our expectations for DC Fandom. Listen, I was hyping up for 2.5 years that at San Diego Comic-Con, we were going to get an announcement about the Snyder Cut, which we never got. We knew it wasn't going to happen, but we lived in hope and dreams, and that's what fandom is all about. And also, it is fascinating, isn't it, how fandom with films now is like sports. It's you take a side, and you stick with that side, and there's banter, and there's heated debate. So I'm a Manchester United fan, so I don't like Manchester City. I don't like their fans. I don't like Liverpool's fans especially. And with film now, I stan Warner Brothers and I argue with people who love Disney. Now, I'm not dumb. I know that these companies are laughing at us because while we're arguing and standing them, right, they're making money. I get that. But I've always been a Warner Brothers fan because they own DC. They haven't done a great job in the past with DC. Sometimes they have, sometimes they haven't. They haven't done the job that Disney have done with Marvel Studios. I mean, they took that comic book world and they did something special with it, and it's a consistent world. You know, DC from the word dot has been inconsistent. We had Superman the movie that had production problems, but somehow they gave us a great movie. Superman 2, they sacked Richard Donner, but Superman 2 is still a good movie. Superman 3 is a solid movie, not the best. And Superman 4 had its budget ripped away from it, but I still like it. But obviously the film's a mess, but I still have a soft place in my heart. It's like Supergirl starring Helen Slater. It could have been a much better film, but I actually really like that film too. So the inconsistencies have always been there with DC. You've got Batman Returns, great movies. Then you've got Batman Forever, okay. And Batman and Robin is a disaster, but still an entertaining film that I enjoyed. You know, Catwoman, you've got Constantine. You know, DC under WB has always been inconsistent, and I just I just feel now with AT&T they're a bit like Disney, they're a bit like Kevin Feige. They actually understand how these franchises need to be run, and one of the way AT&T are doing it is getting the hype train up. And I mean, I would love to ask someone who worked with the old regime of Warner Brothers and who's working with AT&T now, do they believe we'd even have a DC fandom if it wasn't for AT&T? Of course we wouldn't have. We are on a new trajectory, and that is so awesome. And I think, like everybody else, of course I'm making many, many predictions about DC fandom. Now, the cultured nerd keeps on putting its tinfoil hat on and basically disguising tinfoil like exclusive content. I mean, I think the other week, though, or a few months ago, they were talking about Brandon Routh having his own HBO Max original limited series as Superman, which most of us would absolutely love. But again, I believe that's tinfoil. But if we get that announced at DC Fandom, wow, that would be so amazing. Look, Brandon Routh deserves it. And I mean, it is suspicious how he quit Legends of Tomorrow. So I am getting 2 and 2 together and adding 60, right? And believing the reason for that is he is finally going to play Superman again since Superman Returns. This would be absolutely massive. Make no mistake about it. And I have been talking about in the past, you know, about Superman being front and center within DC live action. And I do believe DC Fandom will tell us that and confirm that to us. Why do you think we got the John Williams Superman theme for the first opening trailer for DC Fandom? You know, everything has a reason, right? They are telling us what they're going to do. So I don't think we should calm down on the expectation for DC Fandom. DC Fandom is a massive event that every fan, you know, should be so excited about. It is massive. And it could end up being just this thing which is talking about comics that we already know about, movies that we already know about, and maybe one little announcement. Maybe that's it. But they did say big reveals and announcements. So obviously they're going to tell us they're going to announce a lot of upcoming projects. So I don't think we're being unrealistic with our expectations. Of course we're fans. The more we think about it, the more theories we have. I predicted a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie arc, for Christ's sake. But who knows? Funnier things have happened. Lots of people are making predictions about the Snyderverse, animation, Ben Affleck's The Batman, things like that. Look, anything's possible right now because we live in a world where next year we're going to see Zack Snyder's Justice League. And by the way, before I sign off for today, there are big rumours that Zack Snyder is finally going to shoot the Martian Manhunter human element of that scene. So that's very exciting. Apparently the actor who plays General Swanwick is going to shoot the Martian Manhunter side of the sequence that Zack's been wanting to shoot for 2.5 years now. So if that's happening, that's good. Especially the pandemic being so huge in America and disastrous right now, it shows that Hollywood are getting their shit together and can shoot. I mean, there's rumours that, John Wick, that's right, starring Keanu Reeves. They're going to film John Wick 4 and 5 back to back. Now, people like Scott Mendelson think this is groundbreaking. It's not. Robert Zemeckis filmed Back to the Future 2 and 3 back to back. It's not the first time. Basically, modern Hollywood just nicks things from past Hollywood and just calls itself, they think their first time is. You're not breaking any ground here. Right, so I want you to comment down below. Are you excited about Zack filming Martian Manhunter for Zack Snyder's Justice League? Because I certainly am. And what do you think about our Rebecca? Did I educate her properly about Batman? Did I sit her down? How would you educate her about Batman? And if there is a Zoe Kravitz Catwoman spin-off, would you be excited about that? I'm really interested that the Batman seems to have all these spin-offs on HBO Max. That really is exciting. But what does that mean for Ben Affleck's Batman? Does it mean he is absolutely done and we should start getting our hankies and start crying? Anything's possible. We should still have hope until after DC Fandom. If we don't hear anything there, probably not happening. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.